Hello everyone, Marta here from Win.gg. I'm here with Carmac, the man, the legend, the godfather of IEM Katowice. I think we can say welcome and thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I would like to open by asking you how it feels to you personally not having fans here today or for this whole weekend. And since the news came very, very late, how was it internally? Did you struggle sharing the news with fans? How did it feel, the whole situation?
It was incredibly heartbreaking. My personal feelings, I mean, it's not my first and not my last Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. So for me, it was, it's number 8 already. So I know I will experience this arena again with, at its loudest. For some people, maybe this is something that they were saving up for a really long time and spent all the money that they had in the world to come here and to take home amazing memories. And there's nothing that we can do in order for them to get what they came for exactly. So that is incredibly heartbreaking. Luckily, they've managed to many of them have managed to, gather in bars and watch it with other people and make completely different memories, maybe not the type of memories that they were expecting, but still maybe friendships for life, maybe something else. So that was, to see that really how they've reacted, how they have responded to each other has been, maybe it's fair to say that it's been inspiring. Mm-hmm. To see their reaction, because they were all helping each other as well. Threads on Reddit, here's what you do, here's what you see, here's where you go. If you're hungry, go there. If you want to drink, go there. If you want to watch with us, come here. All of that stuff. So incredibly, incredibly heartwarming, I would say. But talking about it to, announcing to people that all of that and explaining, that's been very, very challenging and very difficult.
Yeah, the fans in Katowice are amazing. This is my first Katowice, but I've heard from everyone this is the event that's gonna spoil you. It's amazing. Yet there have been some people that have commented that this event happening in Katowice over and over again isn't necessarily a good sign. Fans are obviously showing otherwise. There are memories about this event happening specifically here. But how do you feel? Would you like to comment on that? Why Katowice? Why always Katowice?
Well, I think it's relatively simple. If you look at this specific event and you look how many people turn up, and you look how players treat the event and how badly they want to play on this stage. I mean, Kenny S said that 1 or 2 years ago that one of his big things that are missing in his career is playing on the Katowice stage.
Beautiful arena.
It is inside a beautiful arena. It's a wonderful atmosphere, and like it or not, this is year after year one of the biggest audiences in the world every year for Counter-Strike. I believe in 2019. There may have been, it's every year in the top 4 for attendance, and sometimes, higher in the top 4, sometimes 4th or something like that, depending on how some of the other events pan out. But it's extremely well attended and it's got plenty of tradition. And if you think about that, the players in the grand final today, they were all something between 8 and 12 or 13 when the first Intel Extreme Masters trophy was picked up. We shouldn't forget that. Carrigan responded to one of my tweets. I was asking, hey, how old were you when the first trophy got picked up? And he responded that he was 16 and dreaming of playing in this tournament. So it's a tournament that has a legacy and a meaning well beyond, just a prize check, a stage built. It's memories here accumulated in this trophy that represent something way more than just again, that price check and a bracket. Players understand that here they can compete and be remembered. As they walk to the stage, they see everyone that has won this trophy before them, and this reminds them as they walk up the steps to the stage, they see all the names. They know what they're playing for here.
And if I'm not wrong, even on the trophy they're engraved names.
That's correct. So I think what we have here is something that no amount of money can buy in esports, which is history, legacy, tradition, and moments. Why should we give that up? I don't understand.
Absolutely, I agree. Why try to fix something that's not nearly broken? There's nothing wrong, and for us in Europe, the location is great as well. Wherever we come from Europe, we can meet at this point. So I agree with you. But going back to the coronavirus issues, do you think that in the next few months we could see more of this happening, no live audiences, maybe smaller arena or maybe even online tournaments to avoid this?
It all depends. I don't know. The situation with this could change. We have to look at multiple scenarios. I honestly don't know, because what we've done after the news broke that we have to play behind closed doors, I shut myself off in an esports bubble, so to speak. I would prefer for until we finish out the tournament, I would prefer for esports to be the main topic of the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because the more we talk about non-esports topics, the less we talk about the players, and ultimately, it would be great to make it a pity party for ESL, where everybody's like, oh, sucks for you, it's so sad, blah, 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 blah. But, and it would be super easy to pick up sympathy points, but that would take away from those guys that are playing on stage competing, and I want the event to be remembered for whoever wins the grand final, and not primarily, and not any other reason. So it's too early for me to discuss non-esports topics.
Okay.
I haven't given them much thought, to be honest.
Of course, your focus is today's finals, and then that's where it should be. Then let's go back to the more positive topics, and let's talk about this weekend, the playoffs. What for you was the best match so far?
I would say, I don't know if it was the best match necessarily, but it was shocking, the semi-final between Navi and Astralis. It was completely shocking. In one of the interviews, I called Astralis a generation-defining CS team. I still think they are, but what happened in that semi-final between Navi and Astralis was absolutely spectacular, absolutely shocking. I think they have never ever, as an organization, scored so few rounds in a best of three as happened in the game versus Navi. So it was shocking for everyone, and the monster that Navi is right now is just out of this world.
It's incredible. Would you say this is the best Navi we've ever seen?
In CSGO, well, let's wait until the end of the final, because we're talking after map 1, where it was
once again demolishing.
just very one-sided, let's call it that. Let's see how G2 responds. I don't know what the score is on the second map right now. It would be too early to say. I would make myself look very, very silly if G2 were to come back and win the grand final now.
And what about the team? I'm assuming the team that surprised you the most was Navi positively. Has there been a team that you expected would perform a lot better and didn't perform well?
At any tournament like Katowice, you've got teams who disappoint because there can only be one winner, right? So technically at the end you have one winner and 15 losers. We've got how many teams? Mouse Sports won several events back to back before coming here. EG won New York, which had a lot of solid teams. 100 Thieves were top 4 at the major in Berlin. Avantgarde/Virtus Pro were top 2 at the major in Berlin. So you've got Fnatic, who also won a tournament relatively recently. You've got Astralis. So in a way, all of those teams have underperformed in relation to their expectations, their own and their fans. So maybe the only team that wouldn't be blamed or wouldn't blame themselves very much, maybe that's Tyloo, because they were a replacement team for Vici. Everyone else, I think, is ambitious enough to come here and say, this is the one event I want to win in the first quarter of the year. And from that perspective, there can only be 15 losers. And only the winner comes out with an alibi, so to speak. I think this is that kind of event. You've got Katowice, you've got Cologne, and if you don't win that one, if you're simple and if you don't win that one, you got bad dreams for months.
Absolutely, it is one of the two events every Counter-Strike team wishes to lift a trophy of every year. I think a big part of it is also your personality here at IEM. Last year you had a very emotional speech at the end. The situation was like that. So I wanted to ask you personally, because that's not something we see often, your connection to the players, your feelings, your relationships towards players. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, my connection to the players used to be much better, because I used to know them much better than I do today. Right now, I could be the father of some of those players. I'm old enough, but I used to compete as well, not just in esports, but generally I used to compete. I know what they feel. I know how they feel. I was never, on the level of international high skill or anything like that, but I understand what it takes. And I try to treat players with as much respect as I can possibly find for some of the most talented people in the world. I wouldn't say I have a particularly deep relationship with players. I think we have a professional, courteous distance, so to speak, handshakes, things like that. Let's not make it something that it's not. I know some of them. I try to wish them good luck before every stage match. I try to shake their hands and thank them for participating after they finish playing. But and obviously we chat every now and then when we see each other. But again, let's not make it something that it's not.
Those are little things, but for someone who's nervously walking on a stage, it can for sure mean a lot to shake your hand, Is there something about Carmac, about you personally, that people don't know? We know your work at the ESL, all the amazing work you do, but how would you talk about yourself? What are your best qualities, or is there something you did in your life that we don't know about?
Oh, something that wouldn't be boring. Maybe I am the Blood Bowl 2 champion of Poland. It's a video game not played by a lot of people, but I'm Polish champion, so I get to brag about that.
Absolutely.
I'm in the second division of the world's largest Blood Bowl 2 league, worldwide. So technically, I am maybe top 50 in the world among Blood Bowl 2 players, out of maybe a few thousand, certainly not a million, not 10 million like in CS. However much that is, and I spend my free evenings after the kids go to bed playing Blood Bowl 2 and trying to have a dream on my own tiny little esports scale, completely not comparable to the skill level of the guys that play Intel Extreme Masters or ESL 1.
It's still amazing though that there's that little bit of competition still tingling in you and
you never leave competition.
That's amazing.
Once you're hooked in competition, you never leave. Whatever anybody tells you, you're never able to leave competition.
And like you said, bragging rights are always amazing. Being the best in whatever is still being the best. If it's millions of or thousands, it's still the best.
Well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much.
Of course.
But
But for personal accomplishment is there. there's a feeling that you did something for yourself,
Yeah,
that you wanted to.
I'm almost 40 years old. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I guess I need to play turn-based games now to have any chance at winning anything.
Thank you, Carmac, and thank you everyone on win.gg for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, follow us on social media for more content from Katowice, more esports content in general. And once again, a big thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.